Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 3, Crystal Palace 1. Another victory for Carlo. Fantastic, those boys. Joined by Steve Kelly and Andy the Pivot bothered.
Couldn't you have rung each other, and just said this is a massive fashion faux pas, all of us?
But all, I mean 3.
No, I know.
Hold on, let's get back to Baz saying I bothered to turn. Busy man.
I know you're at.
But yes, we all like hoodies, so what?
That's all good. We're all here. It's cold today. It is cold.
I'm hyped up.
There you go. Carlo Ancelotti made 4 changes at the weekend.
I didn't notice.
Didn't you? Twitter noticed.
To be honest, we were kicking off at 12:30, so Ped was like in some kind of haze till about 2 o'clock when he normally surfaces. Now, the 4 changes, obviously Fabian Delph was enforced. Schneiderlin came in. He changed. Coleman came in for Sidderby. Holgate was out the team, which I think was the big one, wasn't it, for Michael Keane?
Yeah.
And then Bernard come in for the
To be honest, for me, the big one was actually Seamus Coleman.
Was it?
That was the one I was worried about. I was more surprised at that. That was the one. I know Holgate was surprising, but at the same time, I can understand why he's making those little changes, just to look at different things, and I think.
And also maybe because Ben Techi's massive.
Yeah, as well, and he's making. That's the point. You look at it and go, and I think that's. I think we all will have done it, but then you look at it and go, oh, why has he done that? And then you have to just go, because he's Carlo Ancelotti. He can do pretty much what he wants. Yeah. And once you get through that, and that's it, isn't it? But I was just the Seamus Coleman was a bit like, but then when you think about City, how absolutely mad he is, literally he is just mad.
I think it was more defensive.
I did a couple of tweets about this. I think people lost their heads too. You look at the names on the team sheet and don't consider why he's doing things or understand them. You don't have to agree with everything Carlo does, but you have to try and understand what he's doing. And Coleman, whether people think he's a good defender or not, is more solid than Sidibe. He doesn't run high. He's not going to leave a gap in behind the facade to run into. Michael Keane matches up physically with Ben Seche. I think Carlo did talk a couple of weeks ago about giving Holgate a break as well. And Sigurdsson, Schneiderlin, okay, whatever. People probably might have wanted to see Tom Davis. I was fine with Sigurdsson, Schneiderlin. They work quite nicely. So the team, I thought it was the right choice. In the way he set it up how he saw it. I'd rather the manager set up and not start having to change things in mid game because it's just not working. He sets up. He's an Italian manager, the tactically minded, and he set us up so.
Steve, it's what Ped said, right? Isn't it? You see that team, you go, oh, what's he done? And then you kind of go, it's Ancelotti, and it will just deal with it. And I think the more we do that, the better everyone's going to be, isn't
definitely. I said, I think I messaged Andy on Saturday. It's just, he's got to trust the man. Just trust him. It's where, I think back in, I said to the lad next to me on Saturday, I was like, imagine Silva had done that, and it'd probably be a lot more panic with our fans. But to me, I could understand the Michael Keane one. Like, I didn't really understand the Sidibe one, but then Zaha, and then... but Michael Keane one was for the height, I think, more than anything, because Palace play very direct football, and but I was quite relaxed with it.
He's got to give other players a little look in, hasn't he? Now and again. I mean, the Schneiderlin one was the most obvious one for me, anyway. I mean, there's no way Tom Davis should be coming from being out the squad to being in the starting team. Schneiderlin played well in our last home game. Played well when he came on as a sub last week, and played well this week. I know a lot of people asking the question, it was great, why aren't more people? Because, at the end of the day, he's having a nice little run under a different manager. It's not, no one's ever questioned, I don't think, his ability as a footballer. They've questioned other things about him. So I had no problem with him starting the game, even though it was him and Schneiderlin. Things have moved on since that derby in terms of the whole team.
But they played together against Chelsea, didn't they? In Duncan's first game, and were excellent. So I think away from home, you might get against a more mobile midfield, you might get caught out. But
the manager, that's what the manager's going to know, isn't he? And he made the changes, and that's where we all have to just start going, sound. You know best. You've watched them all week in training. You've got a plan.
And I think from the manager's point of view as well, he's looking at the players he knows he can trust at the moment, maybe. Where Tom Davis, he's a bit up and down a lot, and he's gone with experience, isn't he? That's what he's going with at the moment. And it's getting us through games, and we're winning football games. That's the most important thing, really.
I mean, we forced Guata into a save early on, didn't we, from Luca Dean free kick, but then thought we didn't really build on that momentum for the first 10 or 15 minutes. We allowed them to get into the game.
We
And
didn't take control of the game, which I think under Ancelotti we tried to do against the lesser sides. I think, I don't know, it's Everton do this sometimes. Sometimes they nearly kick off, it's a bit of a detriment to teams, but I think we did. Sometimes we just played down, and then at times we played down to their level. It's scrappy. We weren't picking up the second ball. It was fine. I think we just need, as I say, we're better when we take hold of the game. But I suppose then some of the opportunities that we've done later in the game doesn't happen if we're dominating the ball as much. So it swings around about this.
But took the lead with a little bit out of context, bit of quality in the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, the game was slow, wasn't it, to start with? I ate half 12 kickoffs for this season. The TV companies get what they deserve half the time with these kickoffs. They're always dull, aren't they?
It has to be a big team, I think.
Yeah, the crowd's going to be quiet, and it has to be like a bit of an occasion. You find that everywhere. There's no, unless it's a big game.
It's quite flat.
It's quite flat. You know, I always feel like it's like, especially when fans have to go to a game where they feel like they've been put out somehow, they react by just sitting there essentially, because your whole routine's thrown out of order, isn't it? Even when you leave the house, or everything has to be moved by a couple of hours or whatever.
The whole match day experience.
Exactly. So go and go for a pint before, and I think people just feel aggrieved and just sit there quiet. Players' routines change as well, when they have to have their breakfast, when they have to go to bed the night before, time they have to get up, and I think all that does have an effect. You know, and so it was a bit of a slow start, and as you said, no, we never really got hold of the game. They you could see what they were trying to do, setting up with.
But I mean, we've got away with Van Arnold. Sigurdsson, two pathetic attempts at tackling, and Van Arnold racks the foot of the post. But then, like I said, we got that moment of quality.
We started building up, didn't we? And it was those moments of quality. And I think this whole game, something you've said a couple of times this season, is the idea of like Everton's team, the quality in it should be good enough to beat other teams, but we don't see that enough because we always get outfought or whatever. And it's something about being if you're at the same level as another team, it should be your quality. There's a team not so far away from here going to win the league by a counter because they do that. They're playing games where people go, these are not playing well, but it's their quality players that just take over. And I think saying in this whole game, that's what we did. Our quality players just had those little moments where the game was quite equal. I think we both finished with 50-50 on the possession.
They had more.
Yeah, 51-49. Yeah.
So,
54-46 in the end.
50-50.
It's a number around that.
So, and it was the moments of quality that won, and the first goal comes from just 2 moments of quality. We kept the ball alive through a bit of hard work, persistence, kept it going. It's what you should be doing. And then a world-lever cross by Walcott, absolute brilliant cross, and it's been finished. I mean, listen, again, if it was, I don't know, one of their lot or someone else, they'd be waxing lyrical about this goal. That finish is absolutely incredible. Yeah. And for a player like Bernard, you wouldn't be surprised that it hit the toilet to the back of the bar. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you would have expected to take 2 touches, turn around, look to pass, and then turn around.
The thing is, he's got the technique.
No, and
to
I think
that,
the difference, as I said to you earlier, the difference between last season and this season, it's not just it's positional play. Bernard's getting close to the goal. They're anticipating smartly that Walcott can over it crosses. So having someone come in, because what Dom's doing is drawing into the near post. And I think we're going to score more goals because of that positional play, whereas last season it was too spaced out. There was only two or three men in the middle. We're committing men into the box. As you've seen later in the game, Tom Davis was committing himself into the box. So I think we'll be a better side forward, and I think Bernard will get on the end of more because he's going to position himself.
If you
better.
look at his starting position, he's in the D on the edge of the box centrally, rather than I think last season he was coming in round the back because he was staying wider. It's something they've worked.
Do you know why I think that is though? No, I think one of the reasons why that is though is because we're playing 4-4-2. When we used to play 4-5-1, it doesn't matter who it was under. That player where Bernard is would be slightly further back, and it would be the left back. And it'd be the same on the other side. It would actually be the full-backs going that far forward, and the likes of the wingers would be a lot more tucked in. Whereas now, because we're playing 4-4-2, it's interesting that we've gone from the full-back crossing to a full-back to a winger crossing to another winger, and the full-back's just been a little bit more withdrawn. And that shows you with the change of the shape that straight away. But it's doing the same job. But it's that change of the shape that's helping us get where we are because it's been such a pivotal thing. But that's where Bernard, I think we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I think certainly in the Newcastle game, how many crosses were coming in and how we didn't have players on the penalty spot or around that. how we don't do that. So it's something they're clearly working on. Bernard could get 6 to 7 goals a season by being in that position, and equally Theo Walcott on the other side, or whoever's on the other side, could get that many goals. We've seen it early on, actually, Iwobi against
Bournemouth.
Wolves, yeah. When he scored from a header in a similar position. It's something we don't do enough of. And you are right, Dom being in the box and dragging him forward is a brilliant run. And that's what we need to see more of, more and more players being in the box from crosses.
We've seen Southampton away, Dom runs near post and the Charlison comes back into that area and scores. But it was an absolutely brilliant volley and made it look easy, and it wasn't, side foot into the net. But he's the third highest scorer we've got in the Premier League now, Bernard, with 3 goals.
And that's what's going to be the difference going forward next season, is you're going to need to add someone who can get 8 to 12 goals. Yeah, that's
if he gets in those areas, though, and he will get, like Ped said, he'll get half a dozen goals easily. And then
he's going to be the creator. It's more the Walcott position. I think Walcott, whoever plays Walcott's position needs to be able to score the goals. And I think what we do well is...
Can Walcott play the Walcott position?
Well, maybe, after it's named after him. But the issue with Theo is, and I think he last 2 games goal and assist, which is a much bit better improvement, is he doesn't score enough goals, and I think that's what we do well is we overload that right hand side very well. You saw Sigurdsson in the corner, you saw Coleman and Walcott there when he broke to when he crossed it. We do that well, and that's going to allow people who play on the left, Bernard, Dean, and obviously the 2 strikers, to have more space in the box. So I think that's what we've been doing well, is overload it, because that's why the left winger, rather than playing up and down the line, comes inside and is the creator. So that's why it works quite well.
I think it works for Bernard as well, because that was essentially what he done.
He's attacking
he done it under Paulo Fonseca at Shakhtar. He was cutting in. He was saying he'd drift out to the left and then tuck back inside centrally. And we've seen, you mentioned the Newcastle game, he had 5 shots, I think, against Newcastle. I don't think he had 5 shots last season. So things like that. But the disappointing thing was after that great goal that then Walcott goes down injured. And, I think, what did you think of Sidorby coming on? Because I've seen people going to joke of a sub. I actually thought it was the right sub at the time. I thought, I can see why he's doing it. Zaha's their main threat. He'll be down the left and him and Coleman can sort it out. But I mean, ultimately it didn't really work out like that, because I don't think Sidorby ever got into the game. But what did you think at the time? Did you agree with it, or would you rather seen Iwobi coming on?
I agreed with the sub, because I don't really think Iwobi's suited to that right side as much as he is to behind the striker.
He's better centrally, isn't he?
Like when he played there under Duncan, I just didn't think he looked... I always thought he looked out of position.
I still think, though, with him, under Ancelotti, learning that to come in like the way Bernard does, it might be a bit more effective than Duncan had him there just working. I think Ancelotti will want him to do a bit more, but I understand why he put Sidorby on.
And I think, like you said as well, it was to help Seamus as well, with even though he really he didn't do much to do, like you said. But
I think that what you've got to look at as well is, I thought it was the right sub. I thought it was the most natural sub. He is the second. Basically, he is the backup right winger, isn't he, as well, being as the right back. And I think what you've always got to think about as well is, how will a game turn out? Like, because there would have been people saying put Moise Keane on, and maybe switch with Charlison to the right, or things like that. You've got to see how the game plays out. If you've got a game plan and you're thrown away within 20 minutes because there's an injury, I don't think that's what good managers do. I think what good managers do is they put like for like. I don't think there's would have been any suggestion in Carlo Ancelotti's mind to have played anyone else in that position, because it was very interesting, wasn't it, when when he was talking in the build-up to the game, and he said about who's going to replace Delph, and he said we've got 3 centre midfielders. There was no mention of Holgate like playing centre midfield. It was they're my 3, and that's it. It's the same as like when he probably talks about the right wing. He won't say Richarlison's a right winger. Richarlison could end up on the right, or could depend on the left, but he's a centre forward now, and he's not going to start dicking about with the team for the sake of. And this is where other managers maybe get it wrong: is the overcomplicate stuff. If you've got a right winger who goes off, just replace him with the next person. Don't go.
Let's move.
Let's move
stuff.
This is what I've been talking about. I think it makes it easier for fans to understand exactly what you're saying. You go. This is why when we've been linked with players, you go, no, they're not right wingers. Carlos Ferry is as a structure to the system. Like when Brands put that slide up at the AGM, that listed that we have 5 left wingers, 1 right winger, and that's how Ancelotti sees it. That Stevie is the only one in his mind who can do the role that he requires.
And that, like you just said, makes it brilliant for fans, because
you can understand
when we went, like you've just said, when we went to the AGM, and it shows on a board, but we've got 6 centre midfielders, and then people going, we need a centre midfielder and we should be paying 40 million for a centre midfielder who's 29, and you're like, no, we've got 6. He's just told you, and this is why we said a couple of weeks after that, this is what we should be doing more of as a club, is almost educating fans, and I'm not calling fans stupid or anything, it's just...
It's how the club sees it.
It's just come out and go, these are who we've got. And I'm not saying come out and say what we're after, but you go, we've only got one right... That, for me, made it very simple that night. We've only got one right midfielder, so we need another right midfielder. We've got 6 centre midfielders. Until we get rid of 2, we can't entertain buying another one. We've got... we've got 3 centre backs, so in the summer we'll probably buy a 4th, or maybe they'll see how Lewis Gibson progresses. It's that breaking it down. It's like it's transfers by number. Yeah. It makes it very simple.
I think the more they do that, it's educating us as well. It's not anyone out there who might be thinking, what do you mean? It's just breaking what it is the view of how the club sees it. And there hasn't been enough of that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But when people in the last few weeks have been saying, we should be playing with Richarlison, Moise Kean, and Dom in the same team, and it's like, well, that's fine.
You can do that.
But he clearly doesn't.
You have to change the system. And I think the system that it's designed for is, he says, this is my type of player. It's called a player profile. So that's the type of player is like Walcott. Yeah, sorry. It's like the player of that type. Maybe Walcott's not the ideal, but he's the one who can closest mirror what he wants to do in that position.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to play Iwobi and Bernard, you have to change the system. You have to play 4-2-2-2, the 2 behind, because they're both going to want to.
Well, he might have to, because obviously Walcott's gone off injured.
That's fine, but when he sets up a system, he makes subs to fit within the system. But then he changed it as the game went on. We went to 4-3-3, 4-5-1.
But that's the difference, though, isn't it? The difference is when the game goes on and on, and you have to find a solution. You change the formation, and then you change the players based on that. Correct. But you don't overcomplicate things by going, right, he's got to come off, he's got to come on, so we're going to 4-5-1.
He's the best player by talent-wise. Get him on. You don't do that.
Again, that's something that we all should just get on with. Again, it's like for like, and unless he changes the formation.
I think that's just a common thing with football fans in general. We all think we know everything sometimes.
But I think sometimes we always think, Steve, that he can play there. And the manager's like, yeah, he can play there, but I don't want him to play there. I want him up there. And I think that we fall into the trap with Holgate going, 100%. Oh, he can play centre midfield. And the manager's like, no, because he's a really good centre-back. And I've got centre midfielders.
What's really interesting with that is, though, he's put him in centre mid the last 3 weeks late on.
And
he's closed it down.
That's what you do. You either go 3 at the back, which he probably doesn't want to do, or you add a centre midfield in the defensive midfield area. That's what you do.
He might basically man-marks Zaha when he comes.
But I thought, I mean, Steve, we lost, obviously, Walcott to City became on. We almost made it 2-0. A couple of minutes later, the one that Bernard put back across and Dom's
missed the edges.
I'm surprised it missed with that. The Barnett he's growing on the top there, but
the at the back,
he was close, one to making it 2-0. But we didn't really. The game just kind of petered out in that first half. I thought Schneiderlin. In fact, I'll just look at Morgan Schneiderlin now. Got Joe sent some of his stats over. I thought he was actually brilliant. He was my man of the match, Schneiderlin. No, Richarlison was key. But for me, for the overall performance, I thought he was brilliant. 66 touches, 37 successful passes, 20 successful forward passes. It's successful attack and third passes, 12.
My God, how many forward passes? That's the most he's ever had in his life.
Definitely. Successful long balls, 86% passing accuracy. The good thing about that is it wasn't his normal, just me to you, to me to you, giving it the Al Chuckle brothers, you know. Was it? He was switching the play. 4 ball recoveries, 4 successful tackles, 4 interceptions, which is good, and 4 clearances. And it was, of course, his clearance that led to the second goal.
Do you know what I noticed to start on Saturday? How good he was getting around the pitch.
Yeah, I thought
I couldn't believe it.
Really mobile.
I don't think anyone's
no, but I don't
question. He's played well in the last couple of home games and the game he came on. We've said though it's not
talent.
It's his attitude. It's always been his attitude.
It's hunger.
I can't be arsed. Basically, this has been his attitude for 3 years.
That's how it comes across.
Or 2.5 years. Well,
I suppose in training,
body language though, isn't it? His body language has been, I can't be arsed, and it's great that he's having a couple of good games, but. But at the same time, like they're gonna, you know, he might look at it now and go, "This fella gives me everything I want," or whatever. That's fine. You know, he is a good footballer. We bought him because he's a good footballer. No one could ever say he's not a good footballer. It was just whether he could be arsed or not.
My only thing with him, sorry, Steve. My only thing with him is mobility. I think Saturday I think I said it before, against teams higher up, top level teams, it's the midfield's dead mobile, and he gets him and Sigurdsson get eaten alive in a lot of those games, and that's where maybe you then have to just go long because you can't compete. I think against teams like Palace, where they didn't have the most mobile, his ability comes across. Well, that's it, and McCarthy. And so what I thought he did well was he went and won the ball back, and he was switching. It's 3 or 4 brilliant crossfield balls. And when he's allowed to just do one job, I think he's good at it. It's when the game just gets stressed and he's got to do more than one thing.
His best role, though, is this has always been his best role. And I think under Marco Silva, for some reason we tried to complicate it. His best role is he screens the back four, gets the ball, passes it forward, and then
off we go.
Then he sets to do in a 4-4-2.
It is.
You can't go hard in a 4-4-2.
Well, that's why a 4-3-3 would have suited him as well. But we never played it, you see, because he would just been able to drop into that 6 and let the other two play. But whatever. But yes, if he be at his most simple, which is his best, he's an effective player.
He was the one pressing in the midfield, I thought, on Saturday, or even high up.
There's a couple of times as well where they had the ball and no one was really engaging it because they were terrified of and he just went in and put a sliding tackle in him and just broke the game up and gives the fans something to get get it going. But I'd say when he first came in and he had Ross Barkley next to him and he had that mobility, he was great. And his attitude it was almost like I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was what it was.
Koeman left the player the man who brought him in, and it's all. He's just. I mean, let's be honest. He's had 4 or 5 different managers while he's been here. He's never really been settled. He's not. He's easy to.
Well, let me ask you this then.
Ask away.
Because of who the manager is now, do you think that's kind of reignited them or kind of made them go?
I think it's a bit early to say that.
No, but what I mean is, right, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination going, he's Sam now for the next, because I'd still replace in the summer with someone who's mobile. But what I mean is, you're right, he came in with Koeman and he thought he was joining a team that was potentially trying to get in the Champions League. It didn't work like that. It ended up with him getting himself sent off in Lyon, and then after that he lost trust of the fans, and the relationship ended really, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
And we've kind of, as a fan base, have put up with them, so to speak. But what I mean is, because it's Carlo Ancelotti now.
Oh, what? So we've got a boss manager, so...
I'm not justifying it.
I'm not having a... Point being is the way I look at it is that in the summer, I'd have no problem with him leaving the club, and if we bought a replacement in. He's on a lot of money. And for me, a couple of good games doesn't
I think
justify.
I think if you go back to a couple of weeks ago, I think after the derby,
the Norwich game,
a few of us were saying he should never play again.
Exactly, and that's why I can't sit here and go, it's amazing.
He had a good game.
He's had the last couple of home games. He's been great, and I really hope that continues. And he's just one of those players that the manager can call upon, because that's what you need. You need players like that. And if he'd always had that sort of mentality.
He'd have been fine.
He'd be fine, but listen, he might come out and say to us, give us a ton of reasons why it hasn't been that way. So, as a fan, you're not privy to it, are you? But he was great on Saturday, he really was.
And do you think it's good for everyone if he plays well, isn't it? Because if we're looking to even move him on, other clubs will look and go, actually, he can still do a good job.
I think when he's motivated, he's a good player. And, you know, I'd never call him like a world-class player or fantastic, but he's really effective. You need players like that. You know, he's a cog. He's one of the water carriers. You need water carriers in the team.
And the difference is, in a game like this, you know, Tom Davies can't come on and compete.
He's not winning the ball,
in that kind of midfield.
And his form's not good enough.
And his form's not good enough, and he's gonna. We know with Tom now, he tends to try harder and do sillier things when he's not playing well. And Snarden is a bit of he's like a bit of a cold fish, isn't he? He just comes in and does the job.
Last season he done it, didn't he?
He just comes in and does the job, and there's no he's almost got this mentality where it's just.
I'll just do my job.
I'll just do my job and I'll get out, and I know it ain't going to make any difference. And that's fine. That's fine. So I thought he was really good and give us.
I think Saturday as well. He played against a favourable team midfield wise as well. Like they were all. I felt like their midfield was very the same much as ours. Very all one pace.
If you look at the positions, average positions of the two teams, though, their midfielders were deeper than ours. Schneiderlin and Sigurdsson basically were on the halfway line for the majority of the game.
That's the job of a 4-4-2.
Yeah, but earlier in the season, they were both in that. They were like palaces. So, I mean, that's something you might do this week is look at what the changes have been,
we could do that,
position-wise and everything. Got in at half-time, 1-0 up. you know, it was okay. We haven't played well, but you're thinking it's about the results. But we came out second half, and I thought we allowed them, Stevie allowed them to get hold of the game in that first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, and we were second to the ball. I mean,
I always find that quite common for Everton, though.
Yeah, me too.
We always some games we don't. If you like the Boff game, we came out much better. Because obviously we got a rollicking, but I tend to find if we're doing well at half time, we always come out a bit lazy. Sluggish in the second half. And I don't know, Carl will obviously fix that, but it's just something to be worried about.
I just felt like we were getting overrun in the middle of the park. I know we've just been talking about the middle of the park, but they had the free in the middle. I felt like, because you two were just saying about we were very high, the midfield. There was one point in the second half where I think they had the two.
Sigurdsson didn't get into the game until he went on that run.
It was noticeable how high they started pressing.
Yeah,
how they started
definitely.
pressing the back four really high, trying to get on Michael Keane.
Yeah, you do that to Michael Keane.
And it was...
Why do we keep... You know, when teams are doing that, like, why do our centre-backs then just go, when they're having a goal kick, go and stand next to Pickford?
Instruction.
No, I know.
I get it. I know.
It's common sense, isn't it? There was one. There was one, and I think it might have been after they equalised, and we were messing up. We had a goal kick, and
Mina was standing
there, and look fit. You know, fans were just saying no, just stop, and in the end, Pickford just kicked it up. There is times where the
theory behind that though is you draw and
I know that.
I
know that. But in football, common sense has to prevail now and then. Where you just go, listen. We've got a big lad up front who can flick a ball on. Let's just calm it down. And I think for that first 5 minutes, we didn't calm it down. We allowed them to start pushing on our back four. And
they commit more men.
They committed more men.
Well.
It was, you know, Benteke was drifting a little bit left. He knew height-wise to get on Dean.
Yeah.
And we never have.
Pushed on, didn't he? And Van Arnold pushed high.
And it went for the goal. You know, Michael Keane's gone to win a header. Lost it. If you watch it, he's gone. Really, he's gone where really someone like Sigurdsson should be.
The midfield should be.
That's not me blaming Sigurdsson. I'm just saying he's been drawn into an area that he should never be drawn into.
Unless you're a winner.
When you're up, because we showed this last week when Yerry Mina kept on going up against Dean. And he lost a couple, and then was a bit like, where am I supposed to go? Whereas once he dropped off and went, when you win, you can win the ball all day. I'll pick the second ball up, and that's what Keane made the mistake. He got drawn in, and once he got drawn in, everyone has to shift over. So Mina has to shift over. Dean has to shift over. And Sahar plays a lovely ball. It's the first time Sahar had gone inside. He plays a lovely ball. Dean's like, yeah, it'll be all right. Like, do us a favour, mate. Actually try and close him down. He's guilty of this too often, Dean, for me. Yeah. He looks like he's doing something, but he's actually not. Whereas you should be busting a gut and going to the lad, go and beat me first before you beat the goalkeeper. The shot's nothing.
Doesn't present the hesitation in Benteke, does he? Doesn't make him think.
It's like stopping a cross, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many times you just go, the fella behind will deal with this? And that's what Dean's sort of saying. Go on, you have a shot, go on, beat our keeper from there. Things like that, this happen too often. These are the things that, if you cut out, last year you go back and you go, like when you see a goal, tell you, perfect one was when Brighton scored against us at home. Remember when they took that short free kick, and Walcott goes, whatever, the lads will deal with this behind me, and they don't, it's a goal. And it's that thing of like, if Dean deals with that and properly closes Benteke down, lad hasn't scored about 3 years or something. And he doesn't, and he lets him get the shot off, and then, it goes under Pickford.
I think teams have targeted Dean a lot this season, I've noticed, even when we're at home. Like, I've noticed, obviously, Wolves at the start of the season. I just feel like like you were saying before, but I don't feel like he's had a settled side. Also, I don't know if that's the reason, or he hasn't got Garner.
I think he's nowhere near his level.
I think this. Well, we'll get to the go back to the goal in a second. But with Dean, I think the issue is we've come a bit more under Carlo, especially. There was difference under Duncan because obviously it was a bit more Blood and Thunder. But under Carlo, he's asked to do a bit more in possession. Where under Marco Silva, it was getting positions across and hit that cross first time. And now he's having to take his time. We're trying to move teams around. I think, and this was, I'm not saying we're like Barcelona because we're certainly not. But at Barcelona, that's why he struggled and he wasn't as effective as he was for us last season because he had to try and contain possession more, make more thoughtful passes. And I think he's just getting used to it. I think he'll be fine. I think he will get used to it.
I just think he does that too often though, where he doesn't think about like, well, if I just get myself in the way of this ball, do you know what I mean? Like, we've seen it. To be honest, seen it early last season when West Ham came. Jargolenko managed to get that goal in. And it was the same thing. It was like,
I'll
have a little go, but I won't complete. And listen, we know he's more of an attacking defender, but I just think you should be getting out to him and saying to him, you beat me. I'll push you wide. He doesn't. He just allows him, and then
there's three issues with the goal.
With that is Michael Keane.
So Michael Keane, as you rightly say, misjudges the ball. He should just, as you say, go ahead, Benteke, get that.
He should never be getting taken into that.
But then what he does is instead of going, right, Benteke's won the head, I'm going to peel off with Benteke. He just watches the ball and moves slowly back. Benteke peels round, and then Dean, as you say, they've all got to shift then, and that's the start. Then Dean, as I said, hesitates where he should slide and take cut the angle off. And then Pickford, we've discussed obviously that he said that he hurt his knee if he went down. Again,
well, his foot does get stuck.
It does. The issue for me is again though with him is he doesn't anticipate anything. He doesn't position himself properly. It almost hurts himself because he's reacting instead of positioning, which is the difference between I think top class goalies and what he does sometimes well and sometimes not well. He doesn't anticipate things. He doesn't set himself right. Doesn't position himself right. I'm not a goalkeeper. People might pick what I'm saying here, but this is what I watch. He needs to do it and be more consistent. He's just not. Yeah. So yes, he could have hurt himself, which I understand that maybe that caused a problem in his mind. But if he set himself better, he would have saved that much more easier.
I thought it was horrendous goalkeeping. I'll have to say, I thought it was. But you know where it come from? About 5 minutes before, he'd done his typical kick a ball into the stand again. And it's like sometimes he's caught up in something that's already happened. But you know what? It was a mistake. It happens. He says his studs got caught.
If you actually look at it again, his foot gets.
I know, but
that's where the ball goes.
I question why he's almost in that stance though.
That's the problem.
I question why he's in that stance to be caught in. I just don't. I know, but it's in isolation. It's fine, but it is now it is catching up with him. Where
it's a flaw.
Common theme.
You need to as a top-class goalkeeper, you need to position yourself correctly. One of the best goalkeepers I've ever said this, but you can't always be reactionary. You have to anticipate. You look at the goalie across the park now, whether people like him or not. He makes a lot of saves that make them look easy because he's always in the right place because he sets himself, and that's what goalies do. Now, great, Pickford does make some world-class saves. He does. But the saves they should be making easy saves sometimes makes it a lot harder.
I haven't seen many shots roll under him, no.
No, I haven't, and that's
where I sort
of give him the benefit of the doubt because that's not actually where that goal's not a massive flaw. Like that's not a massive mistake. You see that often, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt to a point on that because you don't see that quite often. I just wonder if it's like it's a thing. He comes out after the game and he when he had the interview after the game, I thought it was quite interesting. I thought it was quite telling the way he was again doing that thing where he's having to promote himself as not having problems. I find that weird. To me, he'll say differently.
Do you usually say people who do that have actually?
No, I don't know. I just find that fair. He held his hand up and said it was a mistake, and that's fair play. And we know he made a great save. We'll talk about it in a minute. But what I mean is that the club are going to have to make a decision on on where we go next with the goalkeeping situation. And what I mean by that, by the way, is do they go and get like a top-class goalkeeping coach in? Like a top-class goalkeeping coach? Did they go and get a very strong number 2? Because something he said was really interesting there. He said, I was very lucky I didn't do me ACL. I thought, well, what if he had done his ACL?
The holograms in goal.
With Stecklenburg in goal. Know what I mean?
Like that, Virginia,
who's leaving the club.
Yeah, Ojo Virginia. And I'm thinking, that's how close we are. That's how close we are. Whether you think Pickford's a good goalkeeper or not, or thinking he's young and he's just having one of those seasons. The stark reality is, if he did get injured, we'd have Martin Stecklenburg in goal.
He's played every league game since we signed him.
So that's to me, that's where, and I know clubs have gone away from having these strong number 2s. Really, most of them anyway. I mean, again, one decided he needs a slightly better goalkeeper than another. But that's where, for me, we now need to start looking at that position and saying, maybe we do need to start putting pressure on him. Maybe we do need that strong number 2 or a top-class goalkeeping coach who's really going to elevate him, because that could be the...
But we did have one. Hugo Oliveira was with Edison and Oblak at Benfica. Now, we only had 18 months to pick for, by all means. Did
he get better?
That's what I said today on Twitter, because he just didn't. There's not been an improvement.
But what you've got to think of, though, with the goalie coach, right, is that some...
relationship?
You can have someone who's brilliant technically. Marco Silva apparently was a brilliant technical coach, right?
Right, different, yeah,
No, well, I can only go by what players have said and what coaching staff. But as a manager, you've seen that Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored 9 goals in 18 months for him. He's got 8 and 11 for Ancelotti. So that Oliveira might be technically a fantastic. He might have a great relationship with Ederson and with Oblak. Pickford, it might come. He might need a coach who's more, I don't know, who grills him more, or who's put. I don't know what Oliveira's like.
The issue I have with him is from when we signed him at Sunderland, when we signed him, he's got the same flaws then as he does now.
I think
it's
still only 25.
26 in a month.
What I was about to say
25 at the moment,
Anthony. He is, but it's 26 in a month.
But I don't think
factually he's 25.
I think goalkeepers though are this whole thing about hitting the peak 30, and I think that's sort of gone now.
Well, it depends. Every goalie's different, aren't they?
What I would say is though, but what I would say is his first season, he was a lot more consistent in his first season than he has been in the 2 since. And the problem with Pickford, and this is always going to be his problem, because of his size, he's going to always have to be at the top of his game, I think, because of his size.
He gets persecuted because of it, yeah.
Well, no,
he's 6'1". He's not the smallest.
No, but when you look,
slice as well.
The problem is though, is that when you get players who are going up against them,
he looks small.
He looks small,
against Palace. When I said about that,
my thing with him is, I still think he's got the ceiling to grow even bigger. Not grow. He's not going to grow now, quite clearly, at 25. To make himself a better goalie, it's there. I think ability-wise, the ceiling's there. He's got to maybe his decision-making needs to improve. I think what I'd like to see him do, which he done 3 times at the weekend, was just come and take stuff. Because no matter how big Benteke is, he's 6 foot jumping, he's 8 foot catching the ball, isn't he? And more often than not, if he goes to jump and someone jumps into him, it's a free kick.
But even that though, that has to be, you're absolutely right, by the way, it's decision-making. Not only is it good, it calms the defenders down and it calms the fans down. But even that though, that has to be done with complete assurance in his mind that he's doing the right thing. So against Newcastle, he comes out and he flaps where really should be punching. Yeah. Seen their goalie do it last week, their goalkeeper. People are always questioning goalkeepers. Their goalkeeper's massive. A ball comes right down his neck from a corner. And really, he should be punching. And you know what? Everyone would have gone, what are you punching for? Why didn't you catch it? Well, he goes to catch it. The paces on it is too much. He gets it technically wrong and drops it over the line, and Sheffield United get the winning goal from it. You've got to do what the thing you think is the most important. So against Newcastle, he flaps where really he should be throwing a punch at it. And then when they get the equalising goal, he's actually coming for it, and he could actually probably come and catch it, but he doesn't, because halfway he goes, oh, hang on, what happened the last time? It is all about decision making being a goalkeeper. Technically we know he's as good as anyone out there. Technically, he does make wonder saves, but that's what I'm saying. Look, the club now are going to have to look at it and go, are we on the right track?
I spoke to Nev about him, and Nev was like, he hasn't improved the way he should have, which is fine. He said he can get that back easily, but he's got to work hard. And he said that, like you said before, anticipate rather than react.
But that's why he has to make those world-class saves far too often, because he doesn't anticipate early enough when he could cut the issue out.
I know
I'm being harsh, but I want him to be the best he can be.
Of course. And when a keeper makes a mistake, it's glaring. And everyone will highlight it always. I just think...
Couldn't cut out twice.
For me, we just need to... exactly. And that's what I'd be saying. Why haven't you left your man? Why haven't you put a tackle in?
You can't work on a goalie mistake, you can work on the other
Exactly. So, but I just think we need... For me, and this is just my opinion, you three probably disagree, but I just think we need to be careful that everything he does, we don't need to scrutinise. We're winning games. He's only conceded 4 goals at home, I think, since November.
The issue, though, is 4 or 5 out of the last 6 shots on target have gone in.
Okay, but then you'd argue
as I said to you, I'd have to look at the quality of the shots to say whether that's fair or not, because sometimes...
Well, at Watford last week, I thought he should have saved the first one, but he couldn't have done nothing with Pereira's goal.
The Newcastle was a tough one.
Newcastle, I don't think he could have done anything with the overhead kick, but he should have dealt with it earlier. So again, you're talking about first phase,
I'm worried that we're talking about him every game now. This is what my thing is.
He has conceded too many soft goals.
I'm worried that we're talking about him.
All right, well, one thing I'll say, and we've all said it early on in this programme, is the best manager will make that decision. And Ancelotti will make that decision. And he's come out and said,
it's not going to change short term. That's what
the problem is, though, this is the problem. Pickford's come out and done that interview saying everyone hates England players. So he's sort of now, he's put the spotlight on himself. And what I would say is, I was, when that goal went in, I was having a look at my phone, and I was looking on Twitter, and the amount of people who are England fans, not Everton fans, England fans,
fans,
were basically saying Pickford should be nowhere near the England team now. Now, he's saying, what he's saying is, oh, everyone hates us because I'm an England player. Well, I can't, I'm not asked about that.
But yeah.
I look at it as solely as an Everton player, and if he's not in the England team, it'll be because of his Everton form, not because of his England form.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So
England's not important.
Well, it is to him, no.
No, that's wrong.
No,
this is the problem we have with Michael Owen and Gary Lineker.
No, I know.
England was more important. You can't have that.
The problem is,
clubs first.
No, I know. But people who are not Everton fans, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're looking at Pickford, and they're not seeing the whole game. They're just seeing the match of the day stuff, and they're looking at him saying he's not good enough to be the England #1 now. Now that's not people hating on him. That's England fans. So what I'm saying is that he's stop being all this like, oh, I've got this great mentality and everyone hates us, and just go, maybe I do have flaws in my games and maybe I need to improve it, and stop with the like almost like that pushing that idea that I am great and just be great.
I don't care if he's England's #1.
No, I know.
No, I'm not saying for you.
He clearly does.
No, that's the problem. Be your best for your club first. England #1 comes as a result of that.
He has kind of, I've seen a quote from him now saying, I've got to get it right for Everton, and then England will take care of itself.
I don't like this, like, England's #1, because that moniker is, it's only as good as you're good, you know what I mean?
We done a video early on the season, first month of the season, is he in his best form? It's not, this is not something that's just happened, where he's the problem is that mistakes have started creeping in every game. Yeah. And that's where, as a goalkeeper, you have to, as someone who's looking at a goalkeeper, you have to just look at it and go, the mistakes are creeping in. These are, there has to be a reason for that. And it's you know, he is a good goalkeeper, but there must be a fundamental reason why mistakes are starting to happen. So that has to be looked at. That's all I'm saying. That might be down to a coach. That might be down to changing in the coaching. That might be down to someone not pushing him as a number 2 for either Everton or England. Maybe I don't know.
One of his strengths for me used to be his kicking, but even his kicking's gone.
It's actually not. I had a look at this morning. It's not. I had a look at the dates Morton's kicking. It's not as bad as people think.
No, it's not.
He's 6th in the league on passes over 40 yards, which is not. I don't want to defend him that much.
Know what it is. It's his
accuracy's not that bad.
It's that one. I know what you're somebody played a great sidewinder thing. Those kind of kicks are great. It's more like the simple ones when he's just clipping it. When actually there's no reason to make those passes, no reason to make those clip passes into.
But again, now late on in the game, he threw them in and dinked one straight out to the wing. It was a brilliant ball. Everyone was clapping, and he's got that in his game. But anyway, listen, it is what it was. 1-1.
He's going to be #1 next season. I'm going to spoil it for everyone. He'll be the #1 next season.
Don't have to spoil it for anybody.
When people say the goalie, it's not.
He's a good age.
Make it a #2. We're not.
But I think this idea though, just this idea that it's not our biggest problem needs to be dismissed though.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. And it needs to be looked at.
Not our biggest problem.
No, but you start with your worst. He's not the number 2, 3, 4.
I disagree with that because we saw David De Gea take a very poor Man United team to the Champions League through his saves.
Now we're seeing a very poor David De Gea.
Well, what I will say is the difference is Jordan Pickford's the second worst. He only saves 62% of his shots on target. The goalkeeper for the prospective champion saves 84%. That's a big difference. You need someone.
But what I'm saying is, though, the idea of it not being a problem is nonsense. It is a problem, but the solution might not be a new goalkeeper. There's
two things you can fix.
There's plenty of things between that and the new goalkeeper. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be looked at. The conversation needs to be had. Because he's making mistakes.
I'm sure it will be.
Well, Everton have got one. I said at the start, though, he's played every game.
There's also a simple-ish fix, by the way. Everton happens to have one of the greatest goalkeepers ever, who I'm sure would do a little bit of work with him if they asked. I'm sure Never,
a mentor. I think he needs a mentor.
Nev's there. I know the club.
And Nev will be there if the club asked. We had a wobble then at 1-1. They went and there was panic setting, which I think will be one of the things that. Ancelotti will have to deal with. And I'm sure he will, and hopefully we'll get to that. But
Mentality.
there was that little wobble, and they go and get a corner, and it comes in and...
It's
James
coming 2 foot to the
Coleman,
ball.
I don't know what he's doing.
Just
I
dives 2
honestly,
foot.
right, don't understand what he's doing. He's 31 years of age, loads of and he actually had a decent game against Zaha. He kept Zaha really quiet. But a corner comes in, and instead of just standing there and clearing it, he throws himself at it. It goes under, bounces up. It's Benteke on the chest. It's
Coordination was never his strong point. Remember that own goal he scored? When was it? Last season?
Oh,
when
yeah,
he went,
Southampton.
when he went,
Yeah,
a
he
couple of
kicked it
seasons
from
ago,
like
when he went to
30
kick
yards,
it, it sort of went and hit the back of his foot and went in.
30 yards,
I just didn't understand it, but it's the post, and we had a little rub of the green there, and you know we were wobbling a little bit, and then we go and score an absolutely brilliant second goal. You know, Morgan Schneiderlin clears it out of our box. Dominic Calvert-Lewin does brilliant, follows it, great little flick on, takes Tompkins out the game, and then Richarlison gets it up. And where my seat is in the upper Bullens, the minute he set off, I'm just thinking, attack the space, left his foot, and it was in. The minute it left his foot, it was in, and it was absolutely brilliant goal, and just shows that when you've got two strikers in tandem, and Everton, I think, Everton have got a hell of a partnership up front there that is developing. And developing. I've seen you making a really good point about stop looking at one player like Dom and comparing them to Lukaku or whoever or whatever. Look at them as a partnership because as a partnership, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. They work hard. They both they're both actually really good in the air, but Dom's got some elements Richie hasn't got. Dom does the
doggy headers, whereas Richarlison's brilliant in the air for scoring goals. Richarlison would probably, if Richarlison had gone for that header, Dom had headed on, Richarlison probably would have stayed down rubbing his head for 5 minutes. Yeah. That's the difference. No, they complement each other perfectly, absolutely perfect. And that's where it's important to say, Richarlison's a centre forward, and he's only a centre forward, but that's where it's important to say he's a centre forward. Stop playing him out wide, or we'll play him out wide late in games. He's a centre forward, and with Dom, it's a brilliant partnership. But
credit to Dunk.
This is what's important, I think, about this goal is saying what we said earlier on is it's a player going, I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you. It's about saying to Richarlison, keep elevating yourself onto that next level. You're right. We sort of not criticised, but we said early on the season, there was a couple of games we said, who was it against? Where he kept on. It was against Man United. It was Wan-Bissaka, and he kept on trying to beat Wan-Bissaka. And on the day, Wan-Bissaka just nullified him, but he kept going back for more. He was like, I'm going to do
Does it against Watford.
But that's what I'm saying. He's like, no, but it's that thing, but it's the same thing, isn't it? I am going to show everyone that I am better, and that's where this goal comes from. It's like, I need to just do something here. We're under the cosh a little bit. It's 1-1. I'm going to be the difference.
Talisman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's our best player.
But the difference between this season and last season, I found as well, is his passing around the area is much better. He's making better decisions.
He got 4 assists
with age. As he gets older and would develop, he's making better decisions. So 1 or 2 years, where's he going to be? You never know.
I look and we just watched the Brazil documentary, and the character of him is incredible. You don't really see it here, but what it comes across there is they all love him. He's a big joker in the pack. He's the fella. Well, he is. And that's why it makes me laugh when people were scoffing at 80. He's worth 130 million easily because he's so work rate.
He's savvy.
Yeah, he's clever, brilliant in the air. He's got power and pace, good goal scorer. And like you said, his development level, he's got more scope. And I just thought that was the first real time for me that he's got a ball driven. In fact, to be honest, he did it in the cup against Watford and Brighton. When he puts the afterburners on and goes with that confidence, he's very difficult to stop. And again, like I just said, it shows the importance of being able to have those 2 strikers in tandem. He knew that the odds were Dom was probably going to win that header, and he drops in behind him, and that's what you do. Too often we've had centre-forwards that don't gamble. They look and go, won't win that. And then he does win it, and it's like, can I get there? Where Richarlison just was looking. I just watched his run, he was like, he'll win that. And he just ran in behind, and as Dom won it, he was able to get it out of his feet. Gary Cahill's panicking, running backwards, flapping, because he thinks if I commit, he'll skim me. Cuts in, and we're 2-1 up. And
that's a partnership, though. That's having confidence in the fellow who's standing next to you. That's understanding that he will win that.
Skills,
of course it is.
So, one scores the tap-ins, essentially, the other one creates his own chance and take people on, drifts around the area, causes
Perfect.
exactly what you think about your best strike partnerships. You didn't have two goal-angers, used to call them. You had one who drifted around, cause bombs, and one who's your poacher. So Dom's a poacher. A lot of his goals are tap-ins, but you need that type of striker. We lacked that type of striker last season.
It was, I mean, Steve was brilliant, wasn't it, to see him just running at the park end and bending that one into the corner.
Yeah, it was just like when he got, like you said, when he got the ball, I just knew he was going to score because I've got so much belief in him as a footballer. I was saying to my dad at the weekend, he hardly ever misses. Every time he has a shot on goal, he usually goes in the back of the net.
Accuracy, he hits the target a lot.
Right in the corner, it was just. And he is Everton's best player by a country mile.
And he'll get his accuracy up.
He can get it now.
I thought he was Sexton's bird, but he might try.
For me, last season, I saw moments last season when he played up front on his own. He could do it, but I wasn't too. Obviously, the system probably didn't.
Isn't it dead interesting though that you wonder when you think of these players and how many players may have been lost to just not playing the system that suits them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
He was going that way.
Well, we all questioned Dom, of course. We all questioned, but we've all questioned Richarlison as well. And it's when he played out wide and he was always frustrated, and you're thinking, and then you'd play him up front, but he'd be on his own, and he'd be like,
exactly.
Funny enough, I think I seen it was like one of my old tweets from ages ago. And it was something like, you know, I'd love to see Dom playing up front with someone else. Or something like, but it was something like a couple of years ago. It was just like, it was that thing of saying, you know, sometimes players come on more by just having someone next to them just to take someone away. We used to always say, there was stats early on the season saying Dom was in the league was the second furthest player away from his nearest other player because he was playing up front on his own and none of the midfield were getting near him. And now suddenly. And then you'd go, why is he running over there and why is he running over there and he's not scoring goals, and you think, imagine Lukaku had someone next to him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, he has left Lautaro in the season. They've had
that's what I'm saying. No, it's like, and then you wouldn't be asked about doesn't run round enough, or you know what I mean? It's
that's what I mean. It's like you're saying about Richarlison. He created his own chance. I remember saying to you lads at the start, we haven't got a striker who creates his own chances. And I used to have a go at Don, but I thought, now you look at it and you think, he was up on his own. But the number 10
Graham Sharp never
created
his own chances. Duncan Ferguson never created them.
Well, different
strikers at different sites.
No,
what I'm saying,
that's what I'm saying. The flip side of that is,
well, again,
right,
the Sharp,
flip side of that is, imagine Dom had been playing up front on his own there, right? And Richarlison is somewhere deeper on the right side of the box, but coming out. So that we're under pressure. We kick the ball up. Then Dom has to try. So Dom, that ball bounces exactly the same. He can't hold it up. All he can try and do is do it as well and then run onto himself. What happens is their centre-back gets it, turns it round and puts it back. Richarlison's not here or there or anything. But suddenly with having that extra man up front, you make something out of nothing, and that's the difference. And when you've got quality, and this is where the top teams do it. The top teams win games of football. It's probably why Leicester are where they are, because they have someone like Vardy, who, as long as you get someone close to him, or he can catch his own flick on, then they're away, and that's where they've been winning games.
This is something, obviously, Duncan Ferguson put this in, the 4-4-2, and he knew. But we did a video in the summer, didn't we? Talking about was Richarlison's best position as a 9, as a striker. We've always said his best things he does are in and around the penalty areas, where he comes to life in the box. This was outside the box, and now that he's developing that, and you've got Dom. It's excellent, but it was a brilliant goal. But then they come straight back at us, didn't he? Again, and then we have Jordan Pickford makes up for the mistake. Yeah. I think you lads have done him a disservice with the save. I think it's an incredible save.
I think it was a good save. Don't be wrong. There's no doubt about it.
It's 3 yards out, and Benteke's like that because he jumps. Oh, but
I'm not saying it's a bad save or he didn't make a good. I think it's a good save, but it's not a world-class save to me. But that's me being harsh. Whatever. There was a goalie who you mentioned before that plays not too far away from Everton. Last season made a block for him in Sydney he knew nothing about in the last minute. And that was lauded as the save of the season. I said at the time that he didn't know anything about it.
The chest.
I still think years ago that didn't know anything about Shevchenko.
Well, he didn't.
Listen. It's a save that keeps us in the lead. Yeah. So whether it's world class or not world class or whatever,
it's an
instinctive save. It's an instinctive save. And that's what...
Let me ask you this, right? No,
Giving the positives here, calm
let me ask you
down.
this, you know when it popped up to Ben
I
Secchi?
thought it was a goal.
I thought it was in.
I thought it was a goal.
When I seen the middle of the goal,
I've got no
I
problem with
thought
that. I've got no problem with that. It was a
and it was amazing.
tremendous
save.
Mignolet type save. No, listen, it's a great save, and it's instinctive, and he makes himself big. And you know what? It could have. If Ben Secchi puts the ball in the top corner, that's not on Jordan Pickford.
No, it's not,
because he's 3 yards out. So Jordan Pickford has anticipated where he thinks that ball's going to go, and he makes a save.
And he's jumped that Ben Secchi, which means he's not. If you're like when you play up front and a keeper jumps at you like that, you go like that. You just get something on it because you've got no time to guide it.
It's a great save. But this is that doesn't change the argument, Jordan Pickford. He makes
That's in a nutshell.
He makes a mistake and he makes a great save. And it's funny because it's come in that order. Because if he'd made a great save and then made a mistake, he would be probably talking more about it. Probably. But he's made a great save, so he's in a way redeemed himself. So brilliant
save. And then Steve really, for me, after that, they didn't. We kind of got hold of the game. Made another change, didn't he? Brought Tom. Bernard
they were overrunning as a midfield.
Yeah, but Bernard hurt his foot, didn't he?
Bernard hurt his foot with a thing. He took him off and put Tom Davies on. At first, he went over on the left. No, not again. And then after a couple of minutes, I think... I seen him having a chat with Duncan, actually. The pair of them were stood there looking. And then I think...
He sent him over first, didn't he? Yeah.
He looked like he was coming on, yeah. And then they moved it round and then he put Tom in the middle and the Richarlison come out to the left.
Extra midfield, he take control of the game.
And that, we got hold of it then.
I think people forget that he's Italian. They know for the tactical acumen. They make decisions to sort of close the game out. You know, obviously they'll try and get another goal, but he was just thinking, I don't want to lose the midfield battle. He'll add an extra midfield.
We were losing it, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly. And
that's
the difference.
See, they had an extra man in there, but the way Sahar played... See, I give Seamus Coleman man of the match, right? And I know...
I thought he shut him off, yeah.
Because I thought he shut off their biggest threat. I thought he did the job on him. And that was...
He didn't let him get in the box.
And because what Sahar does, what they try and use Sahar for, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work that much. Is that they try and get him in as a second striker, and it worked for the goal. And that's why I thought Seamus had such a good game, because he shut that out. I know he did all those little other mistakes. I know he did, and I'm not his biggest fan as he's got older. I love the man to death as being an Everton player, but I know we need a new right back desperately. But I thought he shut him off, and that allowed them to have that extra man in midfield because the way Sahar can you seen it. Players are terrified to go near him because you know what he's going to do. There's one in the first half. Seamus doesn't touch him and he jumps, falls on the floor. Yeah. You know what he's going to do, and then he jumps up, feeling hard done by.
What happened there with Pickford let the ball roll around the box?
We haven't even spoken about that one. We've let him off. Let's go back to that one.
No. And he kicked it out of his hands.
No,
he bizarre. No, I'm not saying that the blame is Pickford. It was just a bizarre. What's going on here?
The point being is that the way we were getting overrun in midfield because the way Zaha was playing, and it was a dead simple thing. Just put Tom in there. Once Tom got passing out to ghost players in the family enclosure.
Yeah, I don't know what that one was.
Even like that himself.
We were all right. We got a grip of the midfield.
He put him at like the points again, didn't he? He put him at the tip of the diamond to press alongside.
He just did his job.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. You want him to just come on.
Again, no, simple. I want a midfielder. I bring on a midfielder, not a centre-back who plays in midfield, not a winger who can play centre. Yeah, but that's fine when you try to close the back door. But
one thing I haven't mentioned, because I thought it was the only thing he did all day, to be honest, was Sigurdsson's run. I thought he was
one or two okay passes forward.
He was terrible. But the run was marvellous. I don't know how he done it. Slalomed his way through.
He was dancing away.
It's the one he somehow dragged back and then got it back out. But Kouattier's save.
I think what you forget that technically he's an absolute amazing footballer. The problem is he hasn't got the legs to do it. You know what I mean? But that proves anyone can make brilliant saves.
I think he should be. I think
the finish would have been incredible.
Oh, it would have been one of the goals of the season because the way his feet on the box.
He was falling, wasn't he?
The fact that the goalie is a big... I mean, he's Jack Joel, isn't he? He's Jack Joel. The keeper's a big lad and makes a good save. But he just gets enough on it that Dom tries to do a donkey kick and it just goes behind him. But
that was a great save. And then...
See, I thought Sigurdsson was fine. I thought he was fine.
Okay, I didn't
think he was terrible.
He goes too many.
No, but I don't think in 4-4-2 he actually needs to offer as much, as long as he just passes the ball to the players who are. I think this is the difference in the philosophy now, is where we used to all put loads of emphasis on what he did. But I think as long as he just gets the ball and shifts it.
But to be a better team,
Of course.
we need a lot more.
But we haven't. But this
no,
is
I agree, but
this is my
he's
argument.
got the technical
But
ability to break the lines.
This is always, he hasn't though.
He
That's
should
with
want
the
the ball more.
legs.
He wants the ball more.
One
Don't
thing
stand
I
next to
noticed,
Milivojevic.
Hey,
This
let's
is
see
here.
talk.
one thing I noticed in the second half when we were under pressure, he went to ask for the ball and give the ball straight back because he didn't want it.
Honestly,
Because he didn't want the ball.
Was he trying to find Milivojevic to stand next to him?
The same in
And then
the
he
first
passed it
half,
back,
he backed
yeah,
out of tackle. He offers nothing. He offers
Yes,
zero.
no. But the problem is though,
We're stuck with them,
He gets
unfortunately.
away with
But in
it.
that position, you've got to want the ball.
Yeah.
You have to want
Gotta
the
be
ball.
able to
Listen,
get it.
Icelandic
you're making the
statistician, you
same
calm down.
no, but you're making different arguments for the same thing from different players. The simple facts are, we haven't got any other players. So the centre midfield is always going to be the problem till we get better players.
What's two come back?
So when Gomez comes back, it probably will be Sigurdsson out the team because they're more like for like than a Schneiderlin is.
I just don't. I think Sigurdsson stays. I don't know why. I've just thought about this.
I don't think you could have it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I just can
I
see
think
it.
once Gomez gets a couple of games under his belt,
Be
I think,
Delph and Gomez.
I think it'll be Sigurdsson under pressure.
Do you think it'll be Delph?
Delph will come.
I think he likes Delph.
I
I
think
know
he likes
a lot of Everton fans don't like Delph, but I think certainly as a person who can set standards, I know people think he's a loudmouth, whatever. He's been brought in to do a specific job. I don't think he expects to play every game. He's probably played too much from a lot of people's liking. But I think we'll see the best of Delph next season as he doesn't play as often, but comes on in games where we need to close it out.
When he played for Southampton.
Yeah. Well, he's done. Let's think
Villa,
about those.
Leeds.
There was a game. Which game was it the other week when he came on? He just completely
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
He's another one though. I think it all depends on the player who's next to him, how he plays, and there's a lot of that in our team.
And I
No,
think
he
once
played
he's,
next
I
to
think the fitness,
De Bruyne last
if he
season,
can
so
get it, keep his fitness levels up, working with Ancelotti would be better.
Exactly.
But we got the third goal, still pressing, still pushing forward. Mason Holgate came on in midfield for Sigurdsson and just shut everything down. Didn't do a lot, but he just won headers.
He didn't just shut everything down. He calmed everything
but
down.
he's
like a calming
he's
presence.
I mean, he is one. I know we don't want to really convert people into other positions, but he's got everything for me that could play in it. But anyway, we get the corner, great ball in from Dean, great header from the Richarlison, brilliant header, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin in exactly the position I want to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin every time, and he's there to knock it home from 2 or 3 yards.
Same as the
8 and 11 now,
Man
isn't
City
And what
at
we
the start
wanted.
of the season when I know you were big on this when he took Coleman's goal off him.
I'm delighted with it.
And that's exactly the positions he should be in. And everyone was moaning that he wasn't in those positions.
We didn't have
But
some
now he's got someone there.
But it's been worked on that.
Yeah,
Clearly been worked
100%.
on. And
Manager, isn't it?
he's in that position. We see that a lot. He's in the same position he was when he scored against West Ham.
West
He's in
Ham.
exactly the same position. He knows that the ball's coming in at a pace and it's going to loop back
Stand
over
on
and
it.
it's either going to hit the target and the keeper's either going to push it down or whatever, or it's going to be flicked on and he's going to get a chance. He's done that.
He's getting
He's
sharp.
great, I don't know.
He's done that a
He's
few
taking
times.
gambles.
That is a sharp finish as well,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
It's dropping on him fast. I know it seems simple, but she then missed all the time. I mean, we've seen the one after that he missed. Do you know what I mean? That it is been having your mind on the game. But what was good
Great
was,
to see him.
Great
score a
header
goal
though
again.
from Richarlison.
but not only about that though, it's good that last 15 minutes and that we're going for the third goal.
Yeah.
We're not
Hang on.
looking
Flying
and going. We're just shutting this game out. We're seeing it out. We kept going. There was a hunger to keep winning the game, and that goal.
But that's what he does smartly, Ancelotti. Like even though he's brought on Davis in a sort of tactical way to sort of tighten up the midfield, he's not taking away from the attacking aspect of the side. He's changing. He's shuffling it around, and I think that's why when people go, "Oh, I don't like that sub," just consider what he's trying to do before you start moaning. And
What we saw was the link up between Dean and Richarlison. So they got the corner, and then a few minutes later, he's Dean again, pops it inside. Richarlison cuts in. It's a good shot.
That's what. And then
Guata saves it, and then
Dom
Dom
should be scoring.
he could have took a touch and dinked it in. He could have cushioned it in, but
it wouldn't be done.
tried
If he
to-
didn't do
But
it
he's
once a game.
but what's
But he
good is
was
though after
feeling
the game he was
We had 3-1.
after the game he was angry though. Stop talking to yourself. He's
My show.
but after the game he's unhappy with it as well, and that's good. And I like that quote he said about what he said in the interview saying, "Now I hate not scoring in games." He said beforehand it was fine, but now I'm fuming. But we've seen the game out and they
It's
didn't. Have,
addictive, isn't it? Scoring
I
goals.
don't
That's
think
what
they
the
had
strikers
another.
say. It's
They
the
didn't
biggest
have another
addiction.
chance, did they? After Benteke saved, the game. Ancelotti made the change, and
They
then
were horrendous, weren't they? Let's be honest. What a horrible football
But
team.
there's loads of teams like that in the Premier League.
Scrappy-
That's what we
scrappy
said
dudes, yeah.
all
Like you
season.
said before, they make us play.
But if we can get to a decent level, what we said, we've got organised. But I just wanted Richarlison, because obviously everything we did well came through him. 45 touches, 1 goal, 5 shots, 3 on target. This is more like it.
40% for the season, which is, I always say 34 is the average, so
That's what everyone says.
So that's good. Always say it. 17 successful passes, 10 successful attack and third passes, 1 chance created, passing accuracy 71%. The thing with the chances created, 4 assists. I think he only ended up with 2. I think last season.
He's in the 90th percentile for like passes around the box, completions in the box. He's doing really well this season.
I think he just looks happier now he's playing up front.
I think he's lost his
not
sort of
throwing
father,
himself
you know
on
what I
the
mean?
floor.
Well, there's a bit where someone barged into him and he just showed he bounced off him.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
In the last season, he would have been on the
I
floor.
think but a lot of that comes from
that.
like frustration and
Mentality,
not playing where you want to play.
4 ball recoveries, 3
Yeah,
aerial
Silver early.
and 2 successful dribbles.
That's still a part of his game. It's just decision making when he's got the ball. But again,
It's one of them successful dribbles as goal.
Yeah.
Probably will be, won't it? I mean, you can't get any more successful than that, can you?
That's one of the doesn't matter.
But what the thing about, you're right, he's happier within himself, and
You in your mind palace there.
it makes a mockery of that he's going to leave now that Silva's gone, isn't it? You know that people were losing.
Let's be honest with you. If you're gonna be like a really, really top player, you don't want to attach your wagon to Marcus Silva.
You don't want to attach your wagon to any manager. It's about you.
Pep Guardiola.
No, even he's. Listen, anyone who blows a bloody title defence like he has, you'd have to ask questions.
I actually heard someone. What was it on? I don't know if it was on Merseyside or someone actually said, I hope he played like that for us and not because he's putting himself in the shop window. It's like
Barcelona.
He doesn't. He's
not
playing like
for
that
him.
because he plays like that. He's a boss
He's
player.
hungry. He's hungry to be the best he can be.
Hungry and wants to be the best. And wherever that leads him, it'll lead him.
If it does lead him to the best teams in Europe, hopefully we are the best team in Europe when he's there, then he's going to be playing well forever. It's not like he's going to be like half-arsing it and then get big moves. To get these moves, you have to be the best in your position.
You can't be afraid of your own players being brilliant.
No, you can't.
Because if moves happen, then it's because the club, whoever that is, the club you play for, aren't satisfying what you need.
The team that are going to piss the league in the next couple of weeks have had to sell 3 of their best players in the last few years to get where they are. So if footballers come and go, enjoy them and want them to be the best, because the better Richarlison becomes, we can sell him for 130, 40 million and rebuild with whatever. It's all it is what all you hope for. No, I won't hope he stays for the rest of his career, but that's football.
Someone, but just on that kind of thing, which is, someone left a comment on one of our videos about Holgate, saying that, well, what'll happen now is, this was a West Brom fan saying, West Brom are going to get up. Holgate's unhappy at Everton because he doesn't get played and all the Everton fans hate him, so he'll just come and play for West Brom. I was like, if Holgate's going anywhere, it's up, mate. It ain't down.
And who hates him from Everton?
I know, we love him.
And he plays every week.
But this is
at the end of the day, you don't succeed at Everton, right, if you can't deal with them. And this is the thing, we're a very tough crowd to play for. So that's why players who are good for Everton are usually very good players, because they can withstand it. And Holgate's shown that he's been overcoming first, because a lot of people, including myself, had doubts about him at the start of the season. And he's proved everyone wrong, good for him.
With Richarlison, just like I think he tweeted the other night, let's just enjoy him while we've got him.
He's amazing. He's
amazing.
And this comes from watching that Brazil documentary. The level, like the mentality and the level that he wants to be at and works hard to be at is, and I think you've seen a little glimpse of it in this game, is that he wants to be better than everyone else, and it's not a cockiness, it's not an arrogance with him. He just looks at it and goes, I will work harder than everyone here to be the best.
And he does.
And that's the thing that they show in that documentary, by the way. It's on Amazon Prime.
Well, who's also got that mentality? Cristiano Ronaldo.
But it is a bit of that. It's
mentality.
like that thing of like, I've come from nothing, and the only way I'm going to get somewhere is hard work. We were talking about this. This is Richarlison's the kind of player that he left Brazil early. It's Brazilians don't have this. I don't think before recently had a massive affinity for him because they didn't know him, they hadn't watched him at home, they hadn't got that attachment to him. He went to Europe. We've had that with other players, like someone like Fernandinho, who there's no affinity for them because they don't know them.
Well, they went stars for the youth teams before they came through. You see, and Richarlison, I think he played one full season in Brazil, and then left to go to Watford. I think there's other players who've been like you say, Fernandinho, and I think. Yeah, they don't know him, and I think whereas your Rene Jesus has played a couple of games. He's played, he's this big player when he's gone to Real Madrid now. But Richarlison's not that player, and I think that's helped him really because now he's a star.
I think goal scorer for his age or something. He's got one of third best for his age.
Yes, third best for his age.
Richarlison.
Behind him,
But we've got him on the contract, and
Well, I think it was smart to do that because you reward your best players. You know, obviously you protect the value, of course, that's part of it. But it's also rewarding players who play. You don't give contracts just because players are playing all right, do you? You know what I mean? You're encouraging them. You're saying, this is your incentive for playing well. Now, you want another contract, incentivise that again.
Everton know how good he is, how valuable he is, and they want to protect him. And I thought it was really good. He said on Saturday to Richarlison that it's nice to be recognised, but I've got a lot I want to do here at Everton, and I love this club. And
he's got people around him as well. He's got people like Mina around.
He loves
him.
Mina, doesn't he?
People like
Bernard, who love
Bernard and the other speakers. But then I heard Dom speaking, saying they get on really well off the pitch. They all look like now.
But Keane seems to settle down with
They all look like they're enjoying each other, enjoying being a group.
Yeah. You saw that, didn't you? After
You're seeing that now. You're starting to see that, and then maybe I'm hoping what comes out of that is the leaders start, because it's like anything else, right? If you walked into a room and you're with strangers, you can't necessarily say something to them, But if it's your best mate, you can walk in and you go, you're being a knobhead. You can say you're being a knobhead. I have to pull pass on it all the time.
It looks like they're questioning each other a lot more on the pitch now.
But that's the point. That comes from having trust.
I noticed Mina and Coleman a few times on Saturday as well.
That comes from having better relationships with each other.
It's also because the Carlo coming in, players coming in,
where they weren't
standards
standing there.
And this is where I say is why we bought people go, man, you bought rejects from top clubs, because they bring standards with them where they expect better performances. They expect the pass to be on the toe rather than wide of them. I know people are not big fans of buying rejects from big clubs, but they bring with them that mentality, and I think that'll start to show. I think instead of buying leaders, which I think Everton have been trying to do in the past, leaders will emerge, like you said, like a Holgate, like a Richarlison, maybe like a Mina, people like that. And then you won't have to buy those 30-year-olds to try and fix the squad. You buy the younger player.
I just really hope now, and I'm not listening, we're playing all right, we're doing all right, and we're going up the team, getting the results, that's the main thing. I just hope that once Gomez comes back and we start seeing the framework of that team again,
Gabama will be back in March.
And Gabama, then
April.
Those players are still allowed to emerge, and maybe in the summer we're going to get 2 or 3
it was good.
Key positions.
Yeah, it was good hearing his interview as well on BT, Angelotti's, about the players they want to bring.
I really enjoyed it. I thought Tess Kelly did a good interview with them. It was a great video seeing off the play.
Because we don't want to bring in stars, we want to make them
He's
stars.
just calm, isn't he? He's just calm. And he has that calm effect on everybody else.
Do you know what it makes, though? This is the thing as well in transfers, because we all, like you say, we understand what Carlo's trying to do. We understand the system. For Marcel Brands, last season we bought for 4-3-3. We never played 4-3-3. Carlo, day one, 4-4-2. Might not have every player to play it, but I'm going to establish the system now. Players just have to get used to it, and then I'll have players as they go. It makes it easier for people to recruit for them. It's just easier that way.
It's been excellent. Only got 22 points from 33 since Marco Silva was sacked. So Duncan and Carlo there. So only Liverpool have took more points than the last 11 games than Everton in the Premier League. So it backs up Andy Dunn's theory that Everton are faltering and Arsenal are flying under Mikel Arteta with that one win.
Mark Ogden as well.
Mark Ogden,
we
know he's a Liverpool fan.
You know what? We've got something to play for.
No,
we didn't have anything to play for 2 months ago.
No. Listen, we're 5 points off the Champions League. I'm not saying we're in that race, but I'm saying that's how well they're doing at the moment. It's got 4 big, tough games coming up now.
A week off now.
Week off, and then let's see what happens. But it was a great win, and made up. Absolutely delighted. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, join us on Patreon.
And if you want to buy a hoodie, the link is in the description.
And the link's in the description for the hoodies.
This is my own.
I don't know what these. You can probably buy these somewhere as well. So there
I
you
wouldn't
go.
mind, but Steve's actually got a Toffee TV hoodie. And he would worn it. Would have looked like separate from the group.
My missus is on night. She hasn't done the washing.
I got my.
Let's
hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too.
Leave it there.
Big time.
Refer your comments on that to hashtag I let my beard do everything.
See you later.
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.